little baby was born, Isaiah said that he was going to be all these wonderful things. The prophet declared that he was going to be the king. David declared that he was going to be like me, sit on the crown and be ruler over everything. Solomon built David a temple that we still wonder at its construction and its interior design. And then here comes Jesus born in the stable. Couldn't get on Section 8, halfway house. Born to mothers that were on the run because they didn't have nothing to render unto Caesar, but they took the time to render unto God. Didn't get no better. He had to run because Herod said, I'm going to kill you even before you die here. Sociologically, she sounds familiar to so many of us. The end is already predicted before the game begins. Yeah, but they didn't quit there, and they ran to Egypt where they could find some comfort. They stood there in Egypt for a few years, but then Jesus couldn't quit on his calling. Thank you, Lord. Born in adverse poverty and had some problems, ran, but he couldn't quit on his calling. I spoke to somebody here today, went to the temple and did what the Lord told him to do, and that was to read the scriptures. And he didn't read the scriptures with other children. The children's church, he went straight to the altar. And spoken words for grown folks, because grown folks need to hear from it. It didn't get no better than that. He runs again. We don't know what happens at intermission between 12 and 30. When he shows up at 30 again, we think he should learn something from the journey. He really was God's son. God really had to bless his life at this point. But then God put him on a mission, and he walked around with 12 people that were probably trifling. But God told him to call them. One carried a knife, one couldn't stop lying, two was so hungry for power that they kept getting in the way of themselves. And then God had to say to his son, no, I told you to call it, and they're yours. You thought it would get better. By this time, he started the new fledgling church. He had 12 members when he started. Now he's got 45,000 people at the time. That already made him mega. He could have bought a Bentley by now, but they know he's still walking around Jerusalem. Don't get invited to no big revivals, haven't bought any custom-made suits. He still got these 12 that doubt whatever it is, but because God called him and he called them, they were yoked for the journey. And then when you think that it's going to get better, he gets invited to the king's palace, of course, to sit down to a 12-course meal on fine china, to eat escargot and caviar, and to have sorbet to cleanse your palate in between courses. But no, they lodged complaint and criticism against him. They spit on him, they spat upon him. But because he was called, and because he was called and not chosen, he did not call Johnny Cochran. He did not call Oakland and Legal's office. What he simply did is not say a mumbling word. Sometimes your pain will add pressure, but if you just keep your mouth closed and just look to the hills from which comes your help will certainly come from God. And then on Friday, at the end of the journey, he should have had a life of grandeur and grace